We're so excited to have the American Performance Horseman because we want to celebrate these amazing animals and athletes, because I think broader audiences are going to be absolutely blown away by what they can do.
Taking the top 5 open riders to have a chance at winning $1 million.
I think it's going to be an amazing watching experience for everybody that's in the audience.
I think it's huge that all the associations are coming together, because that's the only way to really take it to another level.
I believe the American Performance Horseman is finally on the stage that has been a long time coming.
The possibilities are endless. The production of it, the show that's going to be put on, watching the horses, and these athletes down there competing for, money that's going to truly change our lives.
Live from Fort Worth, Texas, inside its new home at Dickies Arena, this is the American Performance Horseman pre-show, nowhere else other than the Cowboy Channel. Well, welcome inside the Brumbaugh Lounge. I'm Katie Kaufman, alongside me NRHA professional Steve Ross, as well as NRCHA professional Brendan Clark. And Brendan and Steve, you've been on this ride the last few years as the American Performance Horseman has continued to evolve, making it a must-stop for the top trainers and their horse athletes throughout the country. Not only is this an individual event, but bringing the team aspect from cutting, reining to working cow horse truly makes this a 1 in a million event.
It really does unite the teams, and trainers are now building their schedules around pointing toward this event, making sure they get qualified, making sure they've got that great horse that can showcase their talents here in front of just a spectacular crowd, fitting that it's in Fort Worth. I mean, everything comes together. I love this for the spectators, but the trainers that get to be here, they really like it.
Yeah, and they do love it, but it's taken a lot of work. This is day in and day out. And one thing that a lot of people need to know is that the horses that they're riding here are once-in-a-lifetime animals. Most people that do this for a living may not even get a chance to ever ride one as good as what we're going to see here tonight. So that is what the special thing is here. And to do it in Fort Worth, Texas, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
Well, and if that doesn't make you want to be here inside Dickies Arena for tonight's event, I don't know what does. But if you're not able to be here and you're watching us live now on the Cowboy Channel, make sure you scan that QR code so you can watch us live for the American Performance Horseman. We will be streaming on the Cowboy Channel Plus app, so make sure you scan the QR code so you can follow along all throughout the night. Not only will history be made, but champions will be crowned. And when we move on to whether it's the cutting, the reining, or the reined cow horse, there are so many great trainers and athletes to watch.
There really are, and the first one comes to mind in the cutting for me is Kitnish and Austin Shepherd, a generational mare. We have several of those horses here tonight, but every time I've seen this mare, she's put on a show. She's just has that greatness inside her, Brendan, and she's one of many here.
Yeah, of course there is. And like I say, that's the first event we're about to see. There's so many great horses and lots of interesting picks that we're seeing in the cutting tonight, because some horses that we've seen a lot, some younger horses, but, you can look down the list and just know that, everybody in this event is great. But a man that we're all going to be watching, of course, is Adam Ben Wallace. He's been a champion here before, and every time he rides to the herd, special things are going to start happening. So it's going to be very fun to see how it all works out tonight, because I would hate to be the judges judging all 3 of these events tonight.
Well, yeah, and when we take a look at Casey Deary and Downright Amazing, I think everyone in this building knows this team.
It's a great team, local cowboy Casey Deary from right here in Weatherford. And this horse, Downright Amazing, has been one of Casey's great partners throughout his career. If everything were to fall together tonight, this horse has the opportunity to be the first reining horse to earn over $1 million in his career. So a lot on the line tonight, Katie.
Yes, and we will all be watching. And then when it comes to the reined cow horse, of course, that really is the ultimate test when you talk about horsemen and women, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when you put the fence work together with the other 2 events, with the very best horses that we're going to see here, I mean, you're going to see extreme athletes, horses that are very, very special. And like I said, they're once-in-a-lifetime horses. And when you put them in this atmosphere, they can rise to the occasion too, and we've seen them do that day in and day out.
It's going to be electric, but for now, we're going to toss it down to the 4th member of our team. Chelsea Etzel has a reining recap presented by Brumbaugh's.
The rein work portion of the Rein Cow Horse competition concluded this morning, and at the top of the leaderboard, to no one's surprise, was Justin Wright and his incredible stallion Scooter Cat. They marked an impressive 2:23. Coming in second was Boyd Rice and his stallion My Boots Are Royal at a 2:19, and rounding out the top three was Veronica Swales and her 6-year-old mare Spanish Nights at a 2:18. Now these scores only count for the individual rider. They don't count for the team competition. So as you know, it's still anyone's game, and it all comes down to the fence.
And those who follow along with the NRCHA, it always comes down to the fence work, doesn't it, Brendan?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's never over until they let that cow out, and the last rider has had his chance to show what his horse can do, and it's going to be no different tonight. We're going to have to wait until the very last thing to see who is going to be the champion, because it's such a tough competition, and there's so many, like I said, great horses, and we're going to talk about that a lot all the way through the night. But, you know, I'm very, very excited to see Scooter Cat tonight, because, you know, we haven't seen him for almost a year, and to be able to see him in this building is pretty special.
Yeah, and you know, between you and Steve, you have already hinted to a few of your favorite picks. And if you are playing along for Pro Fantasy, now's the time to pick your team for all the opportunities to win. So go ahead and scan this QR code. This is PFR, the American Performance Horseman, presented by Xmark, and entries close right after the pre-show. So make sure and get that done now. You have an opportunity not only to win a brand new Texas Edition mower, but over $50,000. And hey, you know what? If you don't want to pay to play, you can do the over and under live, which is free for the American Performance Horseman. Be sure to scan that QR code now. And we have so much more to get to here on the American Performance Horseman pre-show on the Cowboy Channel. We're going to be breaking down cutting when we come back, and we're going to learn more about Adon Banuelos. Stay here.
The American Performance Horseman pre-show is brought to you by Brumbaugh's Furniture and Design, where we make your house a home. And Western Bloodstock, the leader in performance horse sales.
Well, we welcome everybody as you make your way into Dickies Arena. I want to invite everybody.
Adon is
Yeah, it came from Mexico.
Adon is our defending champion, more than $6 million in earnings You can see Ascension Banuelos, Adon Banuelos' dad.
My dad came from Mexico and at a very young age, and horses put him on the map. And my mama's always been the person keeping our horses healthy and keeping us all in line. And the fact that I get to be a part of something like that with a huge support team behind me, I do have a little bit of an edge. I can always hear Bella and I can always hear my mom. The energy that they have put into me and my horses and my program, and the day of a big competition, it comes through.
Well, it's no surprise Adon Banuelos is back for the third year at the American Performance Horseman, back-to-back champion. Can he do it again, Steve?
I certainly think he can. I mean, that great horse storyteller did so well for him here. He switched horses here tonight. But, you know, here's a guy that wins cuttings and dates supermodels. He's up for this. He should be ready.
Yeah, you know he's going to be ready. He may have switched horses, but the one he's riding tonight is just as good as the last one. And Adon's got a barn full of them, but I don't think it's going to be very easy for him tonight. Like I'm really looking forward to seeing LBR hang him and Kenny Platt. That horse has got that signature reach and get off across the cow, be able to trap a cow very, very well. And Kenny's very, very known for that. And they had some success recently as last night. So that's going to be a fun one to wait around and watch.
Yeah, let's take a look at the cutting field and all the rest of the total of the 8 athletes we'll be seeing here in the cutting. We, of course, have Morgan Cromer, Tostin Peterson, Adon, Michael Cooper, James Payne, Austin Shepard. You know Austin has won more than $11 million in lifetime earnings. Wes Gallion as well as Kenny Platt, as you just mentioned.
It's an incredible team, and to think that these types of earnings would be available for horse trainers in 2025, it's all because of events like this that have made it possible and really raised that bar.
And Brendan, you have one that you're really wanting to watch tonight, Tostin Peterson.
Yeah, I mean, I love Feeling Dangerous. This horse is a very small horse. He's strong and stocky, but he's very, very fast, and it's very hard for a cow to get away on him. So this is going to be very interesting because Tostin hasn't necessarily ridden this horse very much. Maybe one time he's worked a cow on him, so he's really catch riding this horse. But again, this horse last night, I watched him across the road, and he is unbelievable. So it's going to be fun, and it's a treat for everybody to be able to see him in the building tonight.
Right, and you just saw that Tostin Peterson's lifetime earnings is $1.7 million. I just mentioned that Austin Shepard's over $11 million. We kind of have a full spread tonight of the 8 athletes who are making it in the cutting.
We really do. Those that are just kind of getting their feet wet, and then we've got some of the greatest veterans that have ever played this game. It's one of the things I love about the cutting. Always respectful of its history, where it came from. It's so much a Fort Worth event. It's been the home of their premier events for years, and it should be just an incredible field.
Are there any veterans that you're excited to watch?
I'm excited about Austin Shepard. I think him, along with Kittenish, have blazed the trail throughout their career. Austin's obviously one of the leading riders of all time. You mentioned that. But he's on maybe a generational horse. We get caught up calling horses great all the time. This one's great.
Right, and well, you know, when we talk about the athletes, you'll hear me all throughout the evening shouting out girl power for all of the lady trainers who have made it for the American Performance Horseman, and Chelsea Etzel had an opportunity to catch up with one of them earlier today.
I'm Chelsea Etzel, and I'm here with my friend and $5.7 million NCHA rider, Morgan Cromer. Thanks for joining me, Morgan.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Morgan and I were just talking about she's draw number 1 tonight in the Dickies Arena, and that comes with some pretty historic bragging rights, don't you think?
Yeah, I was excited to be first. I like being first, but I was really excited to be first in Dickies Arena because I can always say now that I was the first person ever to cut in here. So that was very, very exciting.
They should give you a plaque on the wall.
Yeah, my name.
Something like that. I agree. You're showing Cool Guitar here. You guys have a long history together. Tell us a little bit about your horse.
Yeah, well, I'm just lucky to have him for this, and he's very special to me and my family, so stoked to be able to get to show him.
We're all very excited to watch it as well. Yeah. And you just met some celebrities back there.
Brothers Osborne came out. And so happy they're here and got to meet my horse Gibson. And that was very, very special. It was very amazing to meet them.
Do you think it's because he has like the coolest name, Cool Guitar, that they came to meet him at your
I asked him, I said, if you need another guitar, you know.
Yeah, here he is. That's pretty awesome. Who do you have helping you turn back tonight?
I got my hometown crew, most of them. Eric Weishart, Jake Pinero flew in. I hope he landed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Russ Westfall, as always, and Monty Button.
So you're going in tonight with a lot of confidence. You got your whole crew that you have.
Yeah, got my whole crew.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you're number one tonight and number one in the standings.
We're going to try for it.
I like it. And Team Green, you have Clayton Edsel and Manuel Cortese. Were you excited to be on their team when you found out?
Super excited to meet Manuel because, I mean, nobody's got to meet him over here. Very cool. And then Clayton is, obviously, we got to deal with him. But
I know,
yeah,
it's okay.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So it's
and
fun.
you and Clayton have known each other a while. So
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. So that's great. Well, we wish you all the best of luck tonight. Go get them, Team Green. Thanks,
you.
Morgan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there's Morgan getting set inside Dickies Arena. She's checking out the cattle, picking out the ones that she wants. And Steve and Brendan, you heard her mention that she is going to be the first cutter ever inside Dickies Arena. That's pretty cool to hang your hat on. And then, you know, we were talking earlier just how important your turnback help is. And you heard Morgan actually flew in her hometown crew. Brendan.
Yeah, that's very interesting because that gives you a lot of confidence when you know that your guys are in your corner. They know how your horse works. They know the kind of cattle you like and what you need to be told during the run. I think that's a great thing for Morgan to do because it's very easy to just go off your track and maybe use somebody else and change things, but this is not the event you want to start changing things around.
Yeah, so we will see here in just a few short minutes. Cutting will soon get started, but first we're going to send it to break, and when we come back, well, it's Steve Ross's favorite event, Reining. Stay here.
The American Performance Horseman Pre-Show is brought to you by Western Bloodstock, the leader in performance horse sales, and Kubota. Together, we do more.
Well, they are getting the cattle set as the American Performance Horseman is just minutes away inside its brand new home in Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. You're watching the American Performance Horseman pre-show. We want to give special thanks to Brumbaugh for our beautiful lounge and set here as we're getting nestled inside Dickies. I'm Katie Kaufman, alongside me Steve Ross, as well as Brendan Clark, and we are so excited to get this event underway, but now we're going to get into a fun event that Steve loves to talk about. It's the reining portion of the American Performance Horseman.
I love this part. It's a great test for a horseman. It's a great test for a horse, and we have some great ones here tonight. We're going to show you what you're going to see tonight from some of the greatest horses that have ever played this game and some of the riders that you'd say the same about too. The maneuvers are compulsory. It's kind of an agility test meets figure skating. So they know the pattern going in and what they'll have to accomplish, but the patterns are designed to test the horsemanship of the riders and the athletic ability of these horses. And it's fun to watch.
You're right, Steve. And tonight they are riding and running pattern number 9 with the NRHA. And we're going to give you the Las Tunas horsepower report. And Steve Ross is going to be breaking down a ride that Casey Deary did and really walking us through the 4 maneuvers.
We will walk through some of the things, some of the compulsory maneuvers, we'll call them tonight here on the Horsepower Report. This is the great downright amazing at last year's American Performance Horseman, backing up after his run into his first stop. Now what he's going to do is ask this horse to make 4 spins to the right. That horse needs to stay balanced on his rear end, and he needs to rotate around with his front feet maintaining cadence here. See that downright amazing, really steps right into it, picks up that cadence, and then about the 4th rotation really hits that extra gear, which this horse is capable of doing. The judges are looking for the lightest signal from the rider, and here we see the demonstration of traction and speed control. Soft lope off into a large, fast circle. You know how downright amazing does it, just like an old school horse, and then comes back to a small, slow, collected circle. You'll see from Casey off just one little lift from the reins there. And now he's going to set himself up for Reining's signature event. That's the sliding stop. Notice how he really accelerates down the side of the arena. The back feet attack the ground. The front feet maintain a gallop so that it's a smooth maneuver. And no horses do it quite as well as downright amazing. Well, a lot of them do, but none do it with his certain flair. We're in for a treat tonight getting to see him, and we think that we can use a horse like this to demonstrate what we're looking for.
Yeah, and that was one last sliding stop from Casey Deary, and downright amazing. And as really what Steve just said, we're going to see him here in no time. But here are some stats with downright amazing. He's won the American Performance Horseman twice already. Look at his lifetime earnings. We're only around $13,000 away from him crossing over that $1 million mark. If that happens tonight, he will be the first ever reining horse to do it. So there is so much on the line as we are just moments away from the American Performance Horseman and, of course, the reining portion of this competition. And, Steve, you know, we have a deep field of 8 athletes. I'm just going to put you on the spot for maybe just 1 or 2 that you're really excited to watch outside of Casey.
In the reining, I'd go with Jason Van Lanningham, and going to be big-time horse that could have won it last year, but he broke the pattern, only did 3 spins. That's another horse that's threatening that $1 million mark. And Jason Van Lanningham had aspirations of being a baseball player, but Reining's glad he came here. He can put on a show tonight. The other one's the wild card, Manuel Cortese from Italy. We don't know a lot about this horse other than he's a good one or he wouldn't have made this trip, so it should be fun.
Well, it's going to be fun indeed, and we are going to certainly see what his horse is capable of. You're watching the American Performance Horseman pre-show. When we come back, you're going to learn all about the reined cow horse. Don't go anywhere. You're watching on the Cowboy Channel.
The American Performance Horseman pre-show is brought to you by Las Tunas, International Horse Breeder, and Cinch, Lead, Don't Follow.
Welcome back. Hey, scan the QR code. Have you got your picks in yet for PFR? This is for the American Performance Horseman, presented by Xmark. You've got about 3 minutes to get your team together, so do that now. You could win over $50,000 in cash prizes. Well, we're live here inside Dickies Arena for the American Performance Horseman, and we're moments away from the main event, but we've still got to talk the great event of the Reined Cow Horse, and who better to do that than 2025 Run for a Million qualifier, as well as an open finalist at the Snaffle Bit Futurity, Brendan Clark.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. This is what everyone loves to watch. I mean, at all of our events, this is the one that everyone steps up to watch, and it's so unpredictable, and that's why they say it's never over until the fence work, and it's going to be no different tonight.
It is indeed. We mentioned that the rein work already wrapped up this morning, and when you look at the stacked field of 8, you have 2 that you really have your eye on.
Yeah, of course. It's very hard to go past Justin Wright and Scooter Cat. I mean, this is one of the greatest horses we'll ever see in our industry. He is the #1 earning horse that we've ever seen in the NRCHA, and he's an amazing individual. He won the rein work portion this morning, and until Justin Wright and Scooter Cat go, no one has won the event. And you can see here from a previous American Performance Horseman that this horse is very, very good at holding strong on a cow. You can see these big, strong black cows here were very tough to get by, and Scooter Cat never gives up till the end. In the fence work portion, this man right here is possibly one of the most consistent that we've ever seen in our industry, and it doesn't matter what horse he's riding. Chris Dawson is very, very hard to beat, and he's always in a great position. You can see here that his horse never gets very far away from the cow, and he can control every movement of that cow if he needs to, and that is what it's going to take to mark a big number here tonight and possibly win this event.
Yeah, and when you talk about Chris Dawson, I don't think anyone loves the fence work as much as Snaffle Bit Futurity champion Chris Dawson does, and you saw that was inside Globe Life just a few years back. Now being inside Dickies, it gives us a new dimension. I want to say the dimensions are about 110 by maybe 231, a new opportunity for all these athletes. Steve?
It does. It's a little bit of a narrow pen, but the crowd is right on top of them. Horses and cattle and trainers all respond to crowd energy. We know that. So, Brendan, if we're expecting fireworks, we could have it tonight.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think what's going to happen, these horses are going to rise to the occasion, and we're going to see some extra special stuff come from the equine athletes tonight.
You heard it from Brendan and Steve. You've been watching the American Performance Horseman pre-show. Hey, log into the Cowboy Channel Plus app to watch the event now.